Hey guys, so today I'm going to be designing a t-shirt that I thought failed, but then it actually ended up getting me into a shop in Barcelona and ended up getting me to sell t-shirts. So because this is really important to me, I just want to share a little bit of the backstory with you guys. So recently I've been in Thailand with my family, and when I was in Thailand, I really wanted to make a t-shirt, and I saw a video of someone bleaching a t-shirt and I was like, I want to do that. So I went to some secondhand shops selling vintage used clothes because I really like the idea of like reusing stuff, and I picked out these 3 t-shirts and then I got to work. So originally this is just my practice. I have a video on this. If you want to watch it, click on the bleach art playlist and you'll see it. But yeah, so I was just practicing. I was trying to write out my own name and I realised it was harder than I thought. So me and my little brother just ended up messing around and just like having a little bit of like arts and crafts time and just seeing what we could do. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys this as it was my very first piece, and then you guys can kind of understand like how I was feeling. And the t-shirt that you're going to see me making in this video, I actually ended up giving to my dad. I really wasn't happy with it because I really like precise art, but it's what ended up getting me into the shop. So yeah, that's what you guys are going to see, and I'm going to talk you guys through it. Okay, so before we get onto the painting process, I wanted to show you guys what we have to do before we paint, and as you can tell I was a bit nervous, but we decided we wanted to crop this t-shirt because the shop, which is my brother's shop, we felt that it really like fitted the vibe, so we were just choosing where we want to crop it. Now we kind of know, because obviously like keep in mind this was like the first ever t-shirt I ever painted on to actually sell, apart from that first one which you saw before, which was completely just a practice. I never even knew at that point that I was going to be selling these, so I really just wanted to kind of get a feel for it. So we measured it on my dad and used him as a model because it was way easier than just laying it out, and we only decided to take a little bit off, not like fully crop it. And yeah, we then measured that onto the back as well to just really get a good idea, and then we got to cutting, which you guys will see in a minute. So then once it was laid flat, I did the marking on because it was much easier than standing up, and then here I am cutting it. So it's only a little bit that we ended up taking off, and here is a sneak peek of the design. You've got to trust the process because on there it looks really messy, but then I ended up deciding, well, why don't we present it as a messy design, if that makes sense? Like, just like say it's meant to look like that. So the reason why it was messy was because it was on a vintage t-shirt. God knows how old it was. We found it in a secondhand shop, got it for €1, so you can't really complain. But the fibres in the fabric are like stretched out, which makes it harder to bleach. So there's something that I learned, that if you want a really neat, clean, precise design, then you're going to need like a new t-shirt. So that was interesting to learn, because at first I was really confused and I thought it was going to go on really neat, and I was really confused as to why it wasn't. So it's quite frustrating. I'm not going to lie, it's been quite a frustrating process, but I've got there and I understand it a lot more now and I'm getting a lot better. I mean, I guess it's like anything, when you try something new for the first time, you don't know what to expect. And the thing is with me, because I do art a lot, I just kind of went in and I was like, oh, it's going to be easy. Like, I'm just going to be able to do these dead quick. Wrong. I was so wrong. It's actually taken way longer than I expected. And I ended up having a few breaks because it actually took a long time. And here I am applying the bleach and you'll see it just starts to spread out. And I was really confused initially and I was like, why is it doing that? But then obviously I figured out it's because of the fabric and how it's been worn many times. But that carries a cool story, which I'm going to include with the brand later on. Now at this point it had started spreading out even more and I was really, really, really confused. And I was like, why is it doing that? And then, yeah, obviously I realised. But I continued and I carried on. And it obviously ended up with that messy effect, but I do quite like it now that I look back at it. It's unique and it's different and it varies from the other designs that I've created, which, don't worry, I've got videos coming out if you're interested in this. I have more of the more precise designs. Like, it's a lot different to them and that's cool, that's unique. And I feel like that's what I needed to learn and understand, that it doesn't have to be really neat and precise. It can be rough and messy and abstract. And then I decided to kind of run with that and use that as like an idea for the brand, like messy and abstract, some of them, like you don't really know what they are. And that's what makes it really cool, because you'll never see anybody with the exact same t-shirt, and I love that. Something else that I realised as well was you can see that in those sections that I'm doing, the bleach wasn't applying to all of it, which was another thing that I was really confused about. Still am, but I'm guessing it was just because it was old. But yeah, so you guys are going to have to let me know what you think. As I get further on with the process, you'll have to tell me, do you prefer the neat designs or the rough designs like this? Me personally, I think I prefer the neat designs, because you just know what you're going to get, because for the neat ones, obviously I used a new t-shirt, so wherever I put the bleach, I knew it was going to stay there and it wasn't going to spread out. So I find them a lot more easy to do than the messy ones, because this still took a while because I was trying to do it precise. But then obviously I realised I could never get it precise because of the texture and the fibres in the t-shirt. However, I do really like that it's unique, and something I found that I really like about bleaching t-shirts in general is that all of them are unique, all of them are different. None of them will ever be the exact same, because the ones that I'm doing, I hand paint them, so they're all like completely, well, not completely different, but like I do try to get them similar, but they're pretty much all like quite different, because obviously I don't use like a stencil, I'd rather sketch myself. So yeah, I really like that, and I really like that if someone bought it and then someone else bought the same design, it'd never be the exact same. And I'm sorry about the lighting change. I ended up getting up the next morning and doing it because it was actually annoying me at this point. But yeah, you can see it definitely looks unique, and it started to spread out a little bit more overnight. But because it was a bolder design, it doesn't look too messy. But hey, I never thought it'd be the t-shirt that got me into the shop. But when I was doing this, I was like, oh my god, are they all going to be like this? Like, am I just going to have to do this? Because I was not enjoying it, because if you see my other videos, I really like detailed artwork. Like, a lot of my drawings are in realism because you guys love that and I like doing it. So when something kind of goes messy, I'm a bit like, because I'm not able to get that detail. But yeah, what do you guys think? I'm going to be posting more of these t-shirts, neater ones. So make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And yeah,